Hey everybody, Adam Perry here, and I'm going to go over today's all too small two-game NHL DFS slate. The NHL has its unbalanced schedule. Unfortunately, we have 14 games on tomorrow's slate. I don't know how DraftKings is going to handle that. Last time they broke it up, but we have two games tonight on Wednesday, and we have only one game on Friday. But I thought that it actually would be a good exercise to see what SaberSim gives us for a two-game slate. Because normally we like the onslaught stacks and the heavy correlation, but it's a two-game slate. So is it going to say, hey, don't do that or don't do that as much? I don't know. And I think that it's like a good experiment. And it probably says something about how good these stacks are, at least in SaberSim's eyes, if we do happen to get to them, get a whole lot of exposure to those onslaughts on just a two-gamer. So let's kind of go ahead and see what happens. I'm going to run my build without making any changes, and then we'll run a contest simulation to simulate it against the flagship contest on DraftKings, which is a little bit smaller today, but it's still pretty big. And then we'll also do like a real small single entry and see if that changes, where the high ROI lineups are, if at all. So let's go ahead and run it. We have to make two changes per the DraftKings rules. So we got that, and I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to build and run the sims. While it's building, I'll remind you, do like and subscribe to get more content like this. We have videos going kind of all day now, and there's a lot of great content from Sheets, from Bobby Fye, who recently won a Millie Maker. So check us out and check out TrueDFS.com, because you could get access to these with just a trial to get an idea for how it works for you for like a really great price. And if you do find that these tools like SaberSim and now we have PayDirt are adding a lot of value to you, and we think they will, you can get these for not much more than they would cost on their own. And then on top of that, you get all the premium content. You get Goldie's projections, you get Sheets projections, you get the Discord, you get the voice channel where people are chopping it up like right before lock. So there's a lot going on. The price is right. The trial is there. The prices are going to go up, right, as we add more and more tools. We just added NASCAR tools that we didn't have before. We've added the PayDirt tools, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how that works at the end. So there's a lot of really great things going on. So check it out. We got our build ready, and let's run the sim for the flagship, which I already have loaded. And let's see what kind of stacks we get. I'm not going to be too concerned about the teams. I just want to get an idea for what stacks it likes on a two-game slate. Remember, it's DFS. Everything's contingent. Pricing could be different on different slates, and team totals and all these things could be different. But now we have it sorted by ROI for the flagship. See right off the bat, the top ROI is a Toronto. Look at the stacks we're getting. So you get a heavy correlation, right? I mean, normally I wouldn't even want to play like these threes, 3-3-2s, 3-3s. We didn't get a lot in our pool. What kind of pool did we get? Yeah, I mean, we got 5,000 lineups. And SaberSim just going heavy on the correlation. Not a lot of the unstacked stuff. And if we sort by ROI, you get all these Torontos. And they are, as we could see, onslaughts. So SaberSim is saying, look, you don't need to hit the nuts to win. And you could get an outlier performance even on a small slate, but you could also just get the outlier players that may be on a team or two. And the price is right, at least on this slate, that SaberSim is liking the onslaughts even on the two-gamer. So that says something to me. I mean, you still get some of the 4-3s. It really likes Toronto in the early going. So, what would we do if we were playing these? I wouldn't be comfortable with that much Toronto. I'd tell it to diversify with uniques. This is a lot healthier to me. We're still heavy on this game, but you get to Toronto with the Colorado, Toronto with Seattle. It just feels like a healthier exposure to me. And then the highest total on the slate, which is Minnesota by a nudge, we're not getting to much of. And that's probably an ownership fade. If we go down for uniques, probably still have, we still have really strong ROIs and a ton of correlation. Nothing less than a 4-2. A lot of 5-2s and still some of those 6s. So we've had some talk about this, of what the better stacks to play are. For SaberSim, it's Onslaughts, and it probably doesn't matter on the slate size. Let's go ahead and take that off for a second. And then I just want to load up a contest sim for like a single entry. So here is, let's see, number of entrants. Let's do something small field. Here's the $12 single entry that has like just under 100 men. Number of entries, 1. And now let's run a simulation for that. Actually, yeah. I guess we're rerunning. We could have disabled it, but we'll rerun both. That's fine. Let's sort for the ROI of the single entry. And it's just a single entry with 100. So let's see what our top 5 lineups look like. Probably don't want to go that far down, but Onslaughts. So this is a big difference from common wisdom, right? SaberSim is saying, look, even to beat 100 people, you need outliers, but you also don't necessarily need the nuts. You could get in some of these guys for the right price, and maybe it's Nylander. I don't know. Maybe it's Nylander that goes off, and that's the guy you need. And he brings along these other guys at pretty good price. Or maybe it's AM. You get Austin Matthews goes off, and he brings these guys along, and you say, well, you're going to have cheap guys somewhere. Well, connect them with the cheap goalie, or connect with a 3,200 sort of cheap D man. Have one of these guys bring them along. It's good enough. It's good enough to beat 100 people, and maybe good enough to even win in the large field. So, conventional wisdom has it that on smaller slates, we talked about the similarities with baseball, how on smaller slates you don't have to play the larger stacks. But then, SaberSim disagrees, at least on today's slate, that the highest ROI lineups are still stacked. And it makes sense to me, because you could throw in a cheapo as your 5th man, as your 6th man, and bring them along and get your value there, and get up to other guys like Austin Matthews and Nylander. I'm getting it. I like it. So last thing I want to do, so we talked about pay dirt a little. You could get access to pay dirt through TrueDFS, just like SaberSim, right? And they don't cost much more. So you're getting a ton on the site, plus the new NASCAR tools. And we've been kind of hitting a lot of prop bets in NHL using the pay dirt model. So I just wanted to show that off. And I've been putting these in the premium Discord. But if you're a member, you just go and access them. So I have it pulled up, and you can see like shots on goal, prop bets, what the best ROIs are. Ilya Tolvanen is a 24% ROI. Now, we don't know if we're going to get that kind of edge, but, the model assumes perfect knowledge, but there's some pretty high edges here, some pretty strong bets. So I've been putting the top 1 or 2 prop bets, and we can go to different categories. So here we're on shots on goal. We could see like assists, what kind of value we're getting. We could see the best over bets, the best under bets. It's pretty cool. And we've been finding pretty good success and keeping track of that in Discord. So here you got a Chandler Stevenson to record an assist. You got it at plus 200, right? This is decimal odds, so we convert it. So 2-to-1 for an assist. Good value. And of course, you can find the highest unders. 26% ROI. For Brock Faber to not get an assist. So come check that out. Like and subscribe. Check out TrueDFS.com so you could access these. You get a lot of DFS tools and a lot of betting tools for everything you need in your NHL kind of process. And we're always chopping it up in Discord. We're talking strategy. We're talking betting. We're sweating the games. So come check us out and check us out for the other sports as well. It's only a 2-game slate, so we'll cut it out there. But I hope you learned something, and I wish you good luck on tonight's slate.